Live from the Geico Fox Sports Radio studios. What does it mean when Geico says just 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance? It means you probably should have gone to geico.com 15 minutes ago. Joined now by a man who's done a little bit of everything, and he's got a new book out. Bucky Effing Dent is the name of the book. It's a novel. It's by David Duchovny from X-Files, Californication. He's done also music. He's done a little bit of everything. What's more nerve-wracking, reading acting reviews, reading book reviews, or reading music reviews? What's made you more nervous?
Well, I try to stay away from all reviews. All reviews make me nervous because the good stuff you throw away and the bad stuff you remember forever, unfortunately. That's just the way the human mind works, or just the way my mind works. But I think anything I would be starting new, I would be afraid of the reviews of music now. The books, for some reason, with writing, I've always felt the most comfortable. I started as a writer. I feel like that was always what I was going to be. So I guess I'm a little more immune to criticism of my books than the other two things.
The book is out. You can check it out on Amazon. Your Twitter feed is at David Duchovny. It has a link to the book as well. When did you start writing it?
Well, I wrote it as a screenplay probably about in about 2003, right before the Red Sox won the pennant and screwed my story completely as a movie, or so I thought. And in the end, when I turned that screenplay into a novel, a good 10 years later, more than 10 years later now, the fact that the Sox won in 2004, about 20, 25, 26 years after the action of the book takes place, functions as a nice epilogue in the novel. And ironically, there's now interest in making this book into a movie. So it's had many transformations.
So when you wrote this book, you said obviously the Red Sox had not won their title yet. Were you rooting against the Red Sox because you had that screenplay done and you figure like it's in your economic interest, or were you as a baseball fan like, I'd kind of like to see it happen?
Oh, I'm way more selfish than that. I was rooting just for my interests completely. And they swept the Cardinals, didn't they? It wasn't even a series, unfortunately. And I just saw the writing on the wall. And I was disgusted with the entire with Theo Epstein and all those guys. But in the end, it actually, as I said, I think it creates a nice grace note at the end of the story. Now
we're talking to David Duchovny. Did you grow up a Yankees fan? I know you grew up in New York City. Were you a Yankees? And so, how often would you go to games? What kind of memories do you have about baseball growing up in New York City?
I didn't go to many games. I used to clip the Dairy milk coupons from the carton, and that was for Shea Stadium. That was for Met games, and I hated the Mets, but I would go to the games because I could clip the milk coupons. I don't know that I went to Yankee Stadium, maybe once or twice, and would watch games on Saturday. Basically, the sports weren't really televised when I was growing up in the late 60s and early 70s. So I didn't see a lot. I listened a lot on radio. I listened a lot to Phil Rizzuto describe the games. I really grew up listening to I sound like I'm 150 goddamn years old, but I did listen to the games on radio a lot, and I played a lot of baseball. I played through high school into college. I played stickball in the streets. We were always trying to hit some kind of a ball with some kind of a bat. I don't know if you know what stickball is, but it's played with a broom handle and a rubber ball, and is a fantastic game.
You're a good athlete. You went to Princeton, and I believe were on the JV team as a basketball player. What do you remember about your athletic career at Princeton? Did it impress people at Princeton to be good at sports, or was it kind of a negative?
Well, first of all, I like to say that there's a big roster of basketball players. So to say I'm on the JV, we're all on the varsity. Some of us played on the JV when there were JV games. So there's really no JV basketball in college. It's.
I read that on Wikipedia, and I thought it seemed strange, but I thought it might have been an Ivy League quirk. What? So how would you break down your game? How would you break? Who would you
trying to rewrite my history?
Who would you assess your game? Who did you play like?
I'm that unicorn, that coveted thing, which is a 6 foot